Okay, we've been talking about it all morning. 3 massive wildfires continuing to rage right now in northeastern Minnesota. New numbers just into our newsroom. The wildfire acres that have burned through, it's been almost 34,000 acres. That is up 20 acres from our last update. And now, according to our CBS counterpart in Duluth, the Minnesota DNR is investigating potential suspects accused of starting that largest fire. Camp House has been burning since Sunday, destroying more than 12,000 acres of land and more than 140 structures. You're looking from the sky, from a chopper view, as crews continue to battle the flames. Now, the DNR learned that a group of campers left a fire unattended. When they returned, it was out of control. According to the KBJR in Duluth, they will likely face charges. So the Camp House fire near Brimson is the largest fire, but it's not the only one. Jenkins Creek fire has blazed through more than 20,000 acres, and the Munger Shaw fire has burned 1,300. All right, meteorologist Mike Augustnak joins us now. Mike, you've been tracking this since they started Sunday, and we're looking at hot spots currently.
Still, yeah. From all the reports that we've gotten, these fires are still out of control, none of them contained at this point, and the satellites that we have that help kind of find hot spots in remote areas are still showing that this fire is spreading. So if we take a look at those graphics, the view here is of the 3 fires with Lake Superior on the right there. And if we zoom in, we can take a look at the smallest fire. This is the Munger Shaw fire, and you can see there are still some red dots and red circles indicating some hot spots that are still spreading northward on what has been lighter winds today, but still some light south winds. Again, our latest update that we've gotten, about 1,600 acres burned there. As we head over to the 2 larger fires, the Jenkins Creek fire, now nearly 21,000 acres, with more red, again indicating that in the past 12 hours there has been some spread, particularly on the the western side of this fire complex, getting pretty close to the community of Skibo. And the other fire that we're watching, this is the original one, the Camp House fire that you were talking about, Maria, about almost 15,000 acres. This one has shown less spread, and it's probably because in this area, closer to the lakeshore, the winds are even a bit lighter just farther than they are just farther to the west.
Okay.
So one of the other views we had from space over the past several days has been of the smoke. What we have are a fleet of satellites up there, and there's the ability to kind of zero in and get higher resolution imagery on certain parts of the U.S., depending on whether there's severe weather or fires going on. And so we don't have control over this. NOAA does, and they've moved this highest resolution sector a little farther to the west to track some other stuff that they're watching. And so we don't have quite as good a view here on these fires, but you can also see there's some clouds starting to form for the first time in days.
Yes.
And that's obscuring our view a little bit, but also it is indicative of moisture content going up, and that is exactly what we need in combination with lighter winds to help these firefighters get things under control. So this is sort of the first good sign we've had in a while.
When it comes to the weather.
Exactly, yeah. So a couple of isolated showers have been flowing slowly from southeast to northwest across Wisconsin, and you see a few there up around Duluth as well. Again, that's all part of an increase in moisture that's coming in with some mugginess out there today. Out ahead of our next weather maker, that's that front off across the Dakotas that will bring us a good round of rain in western parts of the state, maybe 3 inches or more coming up over the next week or so. And in northern Minnesota, perhaps as much as an inch. So this is exactly what we need to help firefighters get ahead of this. And Maria, frankly, I think with what's changing in the weather department, we'll probably get these under control, fingers crossed, by the weekend as we finally get the weather sort of cooperating here.
It's still quite a few days away, but again, we haven't had that humidity. We haven't had that rain to help firefighters really knock down those flames and to keep the brush under control as well.
Exactly. Wet the ground, wet the brush, and then also just increase moisture content in the air so it's not so dry out there. Unfortunately, in my mind, I say because this is Minnesota and we don't ever get one big weather event, we have a severe weather threat that comes along with this rain that's on the way. And actually, just in the past few minutes, the next weather team has declared a possible next weather alert for tomorrow.
Okay.
I got some details on that if you'd like.
Yeah.
So what we have is a level 3 out of a 5 risk across Wisconsin on our severe weather threat scale, and a level 2 out of 5 risk here as far west as the Twin Cities. There is a risk in western Minnesota as well, but it drops off pretty quickly. Here's a look at our severe weather factors for tomorrow. This is really going to be starting a little earlier maybe than we would normally see around here. So like early afternoon through the middle part of the evening. The threat for damaging hail, that's the left map there, and those lines, those north to south lines, we call that hatching. That's an indication that in that area 2-inch diameter hail or larger is possible. Damaging wind, also a pretty high threat, and there is a pretty good risk that there'll be a few isolated tornadoes forming in this round of storms that comes in as well. Look, we know that the last one that we had like this on April 28th in the Twin Cities, specifically the metro, we ended up getting very little, if any, severe weather, but there were still multiple tornadoes confirmed in the aftermath, and we forecast for the entire region, not just for people living in Minneapolis and St. Paul. So that's why we're doing the possible next weather alert. I think that will probably be upgraded later today as we get a little more information coming in. But I would say that overall, the atmospheric ingredients are a little more conducive this time than last time.
And timing-wise, again, you said early afternoon?
Right, so last time we were talking like late afternoon through the middle part of the evening. The threat time here probably starts to go up around 1 o'clock or so tomorrow afternoon. And I will add, overnight tonight in southwestern Minnesota, there'll be a pretty big complex of thunderstorms in Nebraska today that will be floating up and weakening as it does so. But if we have enough moisture and enough energy still left for places like Pipestone and Worthington, overnight tonight there could be a strong wind gust or some hail out of a few of those storms as well.
Okay, so just to prepare, put things that are outside in the garage, maybe not drive around during the time of early afternoon.
And this is pretty early in the season, so if you have not yet practiced your severe weather plan or talked about it with the family, now's the time to do it. We had that opportunity a couple of weeks ago, but maybe people are out of town, and so again, we're not here to scare you, just prepare you, make sure you know what to do if there's a warning issued for your area.